Good evening, W3MSB here. I am going to be reviewing a video of the FTM150 RASP. It's a video from Ham Radio 2.0. I think his name is Jason. He uploaded a video demonstrating the audio signaling processing on it. I think there's some other stuff going on in his video I want to point out. Really hard to articulate these comments in text, and it's hard to get people to understand exactly what I'm talking about through YouTube comments. So I want to make this video to kind of clear up what I'm saying is happening in his video, and why his results are not anywhere close to what you're going to see with this radio or any of the Yaesu radios with the new ASP feature. So let's jump onto my laptop and we'll go and review his video one frame at a time. All right, so I put his video into some editing software here just so we can kind of scrub back and forth, and I can show you some highlights of where I experienced some discrepancies in the audio. So here's his radio, and the important thing to look at here is next to the S meter on each of the frequency bands. The S is just the regular radio. That's when the signaling processing is turned off. When it turns on, it goes to ASP. So here you can see, right here, you can see it says ASP instead of S. So that's something to keep in mind. When it says S, it's just regular audio. When it says ASP, he has the signaling processing turned on. So pay close attention. All right, this first signal is how you'd expect a radio to sound. It is a narrow sounding amateur radio signal. You don't have the fidelity you have like you're listening on the FM broadcast band in your car, and it certainly doesn't sound like the person's in the room next to you. It is what we've had for analog radio now for 50 years on FM. It's exactly what you'd expect an analog signal to sound like.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were looking for cutting back. This is Jason there in Grapevine, QSL. Yeah, nice. I know exactly who you are. You're famous. I'm over here just so you know. I'm on a base station.
So as you see, it says S, the signal processing is off, and it sounds like every other radio you've ever owned. Now let's go to the next example, and let's see what happens. All right, so according to my notes here, this is where he turns on ASP. And in my videos, like you've seen before, when you turn ASP on, under the best circumstances, it gets rid of the background noise, gets rid of some static, but it adds a digital artifact to the station's audio. It sounds like they're underwater in a fishbowl. And depending on how strong the signal is, it'll depend on how well it works and also how strong that digital artifact is.
KI5 VPS, Cypress, Texas. Good morning, Phil. Great to hear you. Rain and 59 degrees.
So this is a pretty strong signal, and we expect to hear some digital artifacts and really canceling out some noise. So let's hit play.
Hey, good afternoon. ILTT over in Irving. I think I might be.
Okay, so something interesting happened there. When ASP first came on, it sounded like my radio sounds, where it's just underwater. And then towards the second half of this transmission, all of a sudden, boom, it sounds like he's in the room next to you. Let's play it again.
Hey, good afternoon. ILTT over in Irving. I think I might be in a little bit less about yours.
Right there, when he says, I think I might be in a little bit of a low spot here, listen to how much boomier it sounds.
ILTT over in Irving. I think I might be in a little bit less about your scratch coming in.
Okay, so that is not consistent with anything I've tested over the past few weeks with my radio. It's also inconsistent with any of the videos that Yaesu uploaded of the ASP in use. Also, Ham Radio Crash Course uploaded a video. Sounds nothing like that. Now he's going to turn it off, and the ASP is going to go back to S. And listen, there's still an artifact there where it sounds like he's in the room next to you. So at this marker here, it turns off.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Irving Mall on 183, headed west.
Okay, so by the Irving Mall, over on 183, sounds like he's still in the room next to you. And then when he changes to heading west, that's when it sounds super thin again.
Irving Mall on 183, headed west.
Okay, so in my testing, there is no delay between turning ASP on and turning it off. As soon as you hit the button, the processing starts. As soon as you hit the button again, the processing ends. There's not a 3 to 5 second delay like we're seeing in this video.
And there's a ton of 18-wheelers, some of them with up down. But again, it's...
Okay, so you see he had it off and then he turned it on. But prior to him turning it on, the audio changed dramatically. So at the beginning of this transmission, it sounds normal, sounds like you'd expect it. Before he hits the button, you hear it begin to ramp up. You hear where it sounds like the guy is in the room next to you. All of a sudden, it gets louder, it gets boomier, it gets bassier. And it has nothing to do whether ASP is on or off. Watch this.
And there's a ton of 18 wheelers, some of them listed
Up down. Click, yeah, that's our sitting on it. Ready to river bridge. South.
Okay.
Pound 3.
So you saw how the audio changed before you even pressed the button. Now there's something else to watch here. When ASP is on, the audio changes as you'd expect, but it also changes this guy's accent. This station has a southern accent, and all of a sudden he has like an English accent or a Scottish accent. Just pay close attention to when he says river bridge.
That's our sitting on it. Ready to river bridge.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, that's our sitting on it. Ready to river bridge. South.
Why is it changing his accent? ASP is signal processing, audio signal processing. From what I can tell, it's just some filtering. It shouldn't be changing the guy's accent.
Pound 3. XD just said no with the
flashers on.
After he turns ASP off, it still sounds like that station's in the room next to you.
Pound 3. XD just said no with the
Flashers on.
And then it turns into what you'd expect. So when he says sitting here with the flashers on, the first couple syllables sound very wide, very boomy, and then all of a sudden very narrow again.
Guy pulled off to the side, standing there talking to him.
So we can clearly see that there's something happening in Jason's video that isn't happening in my experience. You can see in my videos. I've had this radio for a few weeks. Also not happening on Ham Radio Crash Course or Yaesu's official video that they uploaded to YouTube. The question is, why is it happening? So 2 observations. Number one, what we're hearing is nothing close to what we see on the other videos, and it's nothing close to what I've been experiencing now for the past few weeks in my testing of this radio. Number 2, the fact that this happens whether ASP is turned on or off in Jason's video, to me proves that what we're hearing is not ASP at all. We're hearing something additional after the radio is producing the audio. And the question is, what are we hearing? So originally I was thinking maybe it's some sort of AI. Maybe there's some sort of voice enhancement going on his editing software or his camera, which takes unclear voice and then makes it sound so much bigger and louder. But I think the answer actually might be something way more simple. So you see he records his videos with his big microphone. I'm sure it goes into a mixer. I'm sure there's some sort of compression. I'm sure there's other audio enhancers going on with his microphone. If the audio from that radio is being recorded directly into his mixer, or if he's even picking it up with the microphone he's using to talk in, that would explain why all of a sudden we hear some changes in the audio even when ASP is turned off. So I wanted to make this video to make it clear that what we're hearing in Jason's video is not what I'm hearing, not what I've been hearing for the past few weeks, and it's not what other people are hearing either. So I just want to show you that this ASP feature does cut out some background noise, and maybe it makes it sound a little more clear, but in no way does it make it sound like the person's in the room next to you.